Welcome to Contra Costa Confidential, the podcast that takes you behind the gates and into the hearts of the Contra Costa Country Club community. I'm JD McCormick, owner of Pan Coast Pizza, member of the Contra Costa Country Club since 2016, and a member of the board.
And I'm Brett Thomas, another Contra Costa member here since 2023. Also an entrepreneur, own a baseball facility down in San Ramon. And whether you're talking about golf mastery, sharing the lore of our historic course, or sitting down at the chef's table, we're here to give you an insider's look at the lifestyle and the legends that make this club home. We're back, episode 2. A lot of great feedback on episode 1. It was fun for us to do, but exciting to hear that people are having a good time. We talked about that Superintendent's Revenge last time. I wasn't able to play. You did. Let's recap. Number 1, what jersey were you wearing?
I went with the George Kittle 85 Niners home red.
Pretty solid.
It was a solid fit. I had to represent, especially since my Niners weren't going to be playing in the Super Bowl. But, it was a very fun event. I loved it. It was so engaging. You had to think at a lot of these holes. There was a lot of strategy involved. There was hole number 3, where you had to select 2 clubs in advance to play the hole, and your team could only play those 2 clubs. And the conversation on the tee box was, do we go 3-wood 7-iron? And Kyle Austin, who was a late addition to our team and a waitlist member, said, why don't we go 3-wood putter and see if we can get it on the skirt and then putt up, which ended up to be a really good move because we were one of only a few teams that birdied that hole. So we went 3-wood up to the front right of the green by the bunker, putted it up onto the green, and the pin was right on the crest. So anything past that hole rolled out, and we had a couple that we thought were going to stop within a foot, and they just kept going on down to that lower level. But Kyle rolled one in for birdie, which was quite a difference maker. Kind of got us off to a rolling start because we started on 2. And then on 4, we were aiming for par, and Rod drained a 50-foot putt up against the ridge that came in on the backside and went in and birdie. And so we were feeling pretty good to start. And then we went on to number 5, and the trick on that hole was you had to hit with kids clubs. And I've never been so happy to be vertically challenged in my entire life because I got to play with these short sticks, and it didn't make that big of a difference for me because I'm, on a good day, I'm 5'10 and a half, maybe 3/4. But, playing with a kids club, we were able to get it onto the green. Carl drained it for birdie. So we were hot rolling in. And, the team kind of came together last minute. I walked into the pro shop about 3 days before, said, hey, is there any threesomes that's looking for somebody to play with them? And they said, Carl and Rod have a spot open. Do you want to play with them? And I said, I'd love to. And we ended up winning the whole thing by 10 strokes. So it wasn't that difficult, Derek. I'm a little disappointed. I'm talking to you, but we've had the conversation offline. He's going to make it a lot harder next year.
So I saw a lot of obstacles. There was tell me about that. It's like rakes and tractors and everything out there.
Oh man. Number 8 was the epitome. There was the hose that lined the green on the left side. So if you were trying to use the hill and get onto the green, it thwarted that shot. Then on the green, there was about 100 yellow golf balls everywhere. Along with, there was an outer ring of obstacles that were implanted into the green around the hole. Then around the hole, there were 4 tees. So not only do you have to get it inside, navigate all that shit, then you had to get inside that ring. Then you had to putt through that. And we were fortunate enough to make par because Rod's putt rimmed out, hit the tee, came back in. So we lucked out. The obstacles worked for us in that one. But, I think there were so many great holes that were set up and so many great gimmicks. Like as an example, on 14, the par 3, the hole was in the face of the hill, the slope, but the hole was the size of a tire. And so if you birdied that, you got to tee off from the forward tees on 15. And so we took advantage of that, and we were able to eagle 15, which was no joke because there was A, no flag, but B, it was a micro hole, which was about the size of these espresso cups where you could only fit one ball in it. And Kyle rolled one in. And I'm telling you, this Kyle Austin kid, watch out. You might see his name on the club championship one day. The kid can play. and he's a great addition. He's a good hang. But yeah, you love to see a team come together and have chemistry. And I think, the stars aligned for us that day. So yeah, and then I think what it was really cool about the event is you brought so many people together, kind of like we're here today in the restaurant area in front of the fireplace. We've got people having lunch. I see John Sala. I see some of the Friday group over there. We've got some ladies lunching behind us. We love the energy of the club and being out amongst the people. So if you hear some background noise, bear with us, but it's a good time. What do you think?
I mean, amazing. This is incredible. The vibe in here is so much different. Like, we're just trying to get better every single week we're on here. So bear with us if there's any technical difficulties, but I'm having a blast. This has been a blast out here in the middle of all the action.
I like the vibe out here better than in the Oak Room. Oak Room felt a little sterile. Here feels a little bit more Contra Costa. People are walking by and seeing what we're doing.
Feels like we're on Radio Row at the Super Bowl.
A little bit, right?
Like we're right in the action and we're doing it.
Man, now we can just grab people. I see Crash.
He's back.
Crash is going to be a guest for us today.
Crash is going to be a guest. Justin Lee, one of the assistant pros. We've also got Ryan Ott, the GM, on today.
I'm excited about that conversation. That'll be a really good one.
Both great guys. The forward thinking is great right now. We're starting to see a lot of great things coming, and they're continuing to push the envelope on making it better. So it's going to be exciting to hear what they have to say.
Yeah, absolutely. What are you excited about to hear from Ryan?
Obviously, the range project has been a big topic. And so I think, just hearing him talk a little bit about it, I think it's much more of a passion project for him than people realize. And so hearing him talk about that, and still there's more to come with that, which is really exciting.
I love it. Yeah, I want to hear about some of the upcoming tournaments because we had so much fun at the Greenskeepers Revenge. I know there's a couple of things coming up that the pro shop's working hard on and putting together for the membership. So those are some things that I'm excited to hear from Justin Crash on, as well as his Seahawks win. But yeah, I think, it's really exciting. It's an exciting episode coming up, and I'm looking forward to having some good times.
Let's rip it.
All right, our next guest is the always present and always dangerous Justin Crash Lee. How did you get the name Crash, Justin?
So it started internally among, Ryan and I, our general manager. He started as a joke because I did crash my car, and it was on the way to work, right? I was supposed to play with a member at Silverado, and I did crash my car on I-80 westbound. Boom, right there. And ever since then, first day, right after the crash, he came up with the nickname Crash. So it stuck with me.
And again, what happens at Contra Costa definitely does not stay at Contra Costa.
Justin, I see you're wearing a Seahawks vest.
Oh, yeah.
I know you're a big Seahawks fan. Congratulations on your win.
Thank you.
That was a good birthday present for you, yeah?
It sure was, yeah. I mean, they played unbelievable. So sorry to all the Patriots fan out there. If I see one, I see one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
Weirdly, there's a lot of Patriots fans here, we found out.
There is.
But I want to talk about the other thing you're wearing, that FootJoy hoodie that you've, to me, have kind of become the model for the pro shop. You always are wearing stuff. You make it look good. I own that hoodie now because of you. Talk a little bit about the merch and what you guys are bringing in the pro shop.
Yeah, so since it's Valentine's Day tomorrow, we do have one sale coming up, which is, we're calling it Love is in the Cards, Pick Your Own Discount. So it's basically, we're going to have cards full of all hearts, and depending on which one you pick, the lowest discount you can get on the sales rack is 40%. And the highest you can get, which is a Joker card, will be 80% off. So that range, it's basically all the stuff that we have on the sales rack. You have the opportunity to get all the discount that you need. Yeah.
What's going on the tournament front and everything? Tell us about the Greenskeepers Revenge. You played in that. I personally didn't find it that difficult, but you go on.
Yeah, I mean, it was another tough year for us, as a professional team. We lost last year by, I think, one team. This year, there was one team, I don't know his name, but they shot 55. Yeah, I think I know who it is, but we're not going to mention him, right?
You can mention it. It's okay.
Yeah, JD McCormick, but
like I said, it wasn't that difficult.
Yeah, shaving few racers came in, right?
Well, we won by 10 strokes.
Yeah, that was huge.
It was very serendipitous because I didn't sign up until about 3 days before. And I walked into the pro shop and said, hey, is there any groups of 3 that I can join? And they said, Carl Campos and Rod Aarons is looking for a group and they have somebody on the wait list. And I joined that group and we destroyed everybody.
It was great pick.
It was like what was meant to be. It was a little bit like the Seahawks getting the Patriots in the Super Bowl. It's just kind of like it was meant to be. But, you know, it was a fun event. I think the pro shop did a good job of facilitating it. But Derek's team did a really good job of putting it together, making it fun. I know Carl Campos said that he said it was the most fun he's had at that event in like 25 years.
Yeah, it's very unique. You know, we've never done it before. So it was a good turnaround. I think everyone enjoyed it. Us pros, it was nice to, you know, leave the office and just be out there with the members. And yeah, it wasn't easy, but we had a lot of fun.
What else do we have coming up?
So since we have that finished, we have the NCGA zone qualifiers coming up. So basically it's a qualifier. The actual tournament will be held at Poppy Hills and Del Monte. It will be probably in the future. But for us, the qualifier here is February 28th. It's a Saturday from 11:30 to 2. We have tee times. So if you and your team is ready to qualify, just sign up. Registration has been open. So you just go on Golf Genius and sign you and your team up. That's number one.
Or 4-man.
That one, I believe it's a 2-man. Oh, it's a 4-ball.
4-man.
2-net best ball of a 4. Yeah. So that's a fun event. Just staying on top of NCGA, we have the 4-ball qualifier also coming up. That's going to be Saturday, the 28th of March. So a month after the zone qualifier, we have that. And the St. Patrick's Day Shamrock Shootout, which, you know, that's a fun event. One of the bigger events too that is also happening on the 14th of March, which is a Saturday. So, you know,
we have to go defend our title. We won that one last year.
Yeah. How did that happen last year?
You know, I think it was the luck of the Irish, maybe.
Yeah.
Nick Thomas.
Yeah. I mean, you're coming off of a win, so it's going to be
off a win. You know,
defending champion coming off a win. That's like a Scotty Scheffler line.
I don't know. Maybe it's the year of the McCormick. We don't know this, but
it could be.
We could hope.
Yeah,
it could be.
It is early on, so there's plenty of tournaments left. But that's the top 3 tournaments that we have coming up. You know?
It's awesome.
Awesome.
Talk a little bit about working here, being that you're from here, or you know, or some portion of your life you're from here, and then get a chance to come back and work.
It's definitely nice because, you know, before I left to college, I was a junior mayor here. So I recognize and know a lot of members out here. And it feels great to come back, just kind of give it back to the community, it feels like, you know. Working at the golf shop, you know, being an assistant golf pro, there's a lot of different things I wasn't aware of that I was getting myself into, especially this podcast. I didn't know I was going to be on one, but it's nice. Yeah. But, you know, us as a country club, I feel like we're really branching out and just using a lot of social media and just kind of, you know, doing our thing, putting our own taste into it. So, yeah, there's a lot of changes coming, which is fun. And, you know, yeah, we're looking forward to it. Yeah.
Well, it's been fun to see you guys put together content for Instagram as a pro shop team. Some of it humorous, some of it educational, some of it with non-Seahawks fans that have a higher NFL IQ than you. But other than that, Crash, thanks for stopping by today. We really appreciate the time. I look forward to seeing you out in the shop.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Ryan, thanks for coming on. Many people might not know this, but you're actually a true baseball guy at heart.
I am.
Talk about your beginnings in baseball.
Yeah, so growing up, that was my number one sport. I was a baseball guy. I played in college, played at Loyola Marymount down in Southern California, and I had a few opportunities to play elsewhere as I was kind of looking at different colleges, and LMU is the one that had an opportunity to play as a freshman, which was super important to me as I was kind of growing up through that process, and had a really good career until 2 knee surgeries, and went from a very quick, agile shortstop shortstop to a not so moving very well third baseman. It was great. And drafted out of high school, but was not quite enough money to live on at that point. And the dream of going to the big leagues was definitely one of those that I had, and still enjoy throwing it around and still enjoy getting in the cage. And I'm definitely going to come over and whack a few balls here coming up real soon down at your place. So yeah, but baseball has been my passion forever. And then golf kind of came along, and I was 10, and my dad and grandfather played, and it just ended up who knew it was going to be a career at that point.
So how did you make golf your career?
So I was that atypical student athlete in college with no work experience outside of those little in and out jobs. And so went to go work for Enterprise Rent-A-Car, as do most student athletes. Worked 2 years, worked up to manager, and got tired of repoing cars in South Central LA, and decided that wasn't going to work. Ended up starting my own company. I did customer service analysis for dealerships and body shops. Did that for about a year-ish or so. My dad ended up taking over the company at that point. And I was looking for kind of what was next. And I was a marshal at Alondra Park in just outside of Redondo Beach, and played with the guys, played with the single digit group. And one day the golf pro comes up to me and goes, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I don't know, just trying to figure it out." He's like, "You should be a golf pro." I'm like, "How do you do that?" Gave me a website, and we all know 26 years ago, web wasn't all that great, and ended up finding a phone number, called the PGA, and that's been now 26 years, 27 years. And loved it, loved every minute of it. Started my career there in Southern California, and then decided I wanted to kind of keep going with it, moved to Vegas. That was actually when I started with Troon in 2001. And I have been all over the country since then. It's been a great opportunity for myself. Wasn't quite sure it was a great opportunity for the kids as much as I moved them, but both of them are good and are working well. But we've lived in Vegas, Palm Springs, Sun City, West Arizona, Scottsdale, Arizona, North Carolina. In the mountains of North Carolina, wasn't anywhere super nice. And then Knoxville, Tennessee, and that's where the kids are still. My son's in Memphis, but my daughter's just finished up her master's at University of Tennessee, and so that ended up kind of being home. And it was time to kind of get back west, and an opportunity here at Contra Costa came up through Troon, and came out, flew out, interviewed, and I love every minute of it. This is a fantastic club, fantastic property. And, that relationship with Troon has been now long-standing relationship. We just signed an extension to that agreement last year. So very excited to kind of see where we can go next.
So how long have you been a general manager? Were you general manager previously to here?
Been a general manager about almost 20 years now. First GM job was actually at Ascena in Palm Springs. I opened it and closed it. That's not a whole lot of people can actually say that. It was during the recession. And so as a Nicholas designed golf course, if you haven't played it, it's fabulous golf course. And that was really my first GM job was there, and have kind of moved around quite a bit. My role with Troon for a long time was kind of the fix-it guy. And so that was just where I lived, but I've touched probably 17 different clubs over my career.
Give us a taste of what the teaching center is going to entail. What's going to be a part of it? To people who haven't heard you talk about it before, I know I'm really excited because I see the progress that's happening on the range. The siding's going up on the bar. I've got a walkthrough of the bar. It looks really cool. But tell us about the teaching center and what we can expect.
You just get goosebumps when I start talking about it. It's this will probably be the third club that I've done it, and the nice thing about this is we got to design it from ground up. So one of the great things is all of our fitting equipment, so Callaway, Titleist, TaylorMade, Ping, will actually all be housed in the building. So we don't have to push those big old carts all over the place and, grab a couple of clubs and run back and forth to the shop. So everything's going to be built into the center. We have custom cabinets coming in on one whole wall, which will have shafts, drawers, which will have all the club heads. And then both ends, butt ends of that are going to be simulators, to where you'll be able to play a hole at Pebble. You'll be able to play a hole at, I think there's like 17 different courses that'll be on there. And but from a club fitting perspective, about 80% of the people that play this game don't play clubs that fit them correctly. And about 85 to 90% don't play a putter that fits them correctly. So as part of the simulator piece, we also have Sam Putt Lab coming in, which will help with putting stroke, as well as matching a putter that will fit your needs. Odyssey's got a great new fitting system that's coming out for putters, and I've requested us to be one of the only Northern California areas to have that. So we'll be able to actually custom fit putters as well as clubs. And then having the simulators, the other thing, everyone says, oh, I need to go play the Pro V1 because that's what I see everyone on tour playing. Most of you don't need to play that ball. Most of you don't need to spend $75 on a dozen golf balls. So we're going to do ball fittings as kind of part of this process as we kind of get it open and going. And I'm excited for the members to use it. It's going to be a fabulous facility and also something to gloat about. And I think it's, as you all as members did probably have the most technological center at our club. I think you all are going to be very, very excited. I will hit one of those rumors that I hear constantly and it's going to cost us to use it. Absolutely not. There is no cost for our members to use the facility. We are working on a way that you'll be able to book 30-minute increments in one of the bays. We're going to try to keep one open for fittings, lessons, those type of things, putter fittings. But one of those bays will be available for members to use as much as possible. We'll do some training sessions once we get it here and get it going. So we'll do some afternoon sessions over there. So if you can't tell, I'm super excited about it.
I will say I am not a practice person. So the range was never like something super exciting to me. I don't like to go to the range before or anything, right? But the putting green, me and my wife have gone to that putting green and we gamble a couple bucks on putting. And then now with the bar going to be open, like I'm super excited about what the vibe is going to be down there just to hang. I mean, I know that I probably should be practicing more and utilize that. And I'm glad other people are doing that, but I'm excited about what the hang is going to be like down there.
Super excited. This project, was going on well before my time of getting here 3.5 years ago. And then as it started to kind of come to fruition and get through the voting and then obviously start the construction, which has taken way too long, but that's a whole nother topic. That was the vision. That was the vision that the members that were part of that group had is to have an area that whether you're a golfer or not a golfer, one of the things that excites me most since that putting green's been open is driving down there in an afternoon and seeing a mom or a dad with their kids and they're showing them how to putt and they're giggling and laughing. The other side, I had a member come up to me not long ago and said, I can't keep my wife out of here. 6 months ago, she didn't know how to get here. She never wanted to come to the club. And now we're coming up, we're playing the putting course, we're coming in, we're having dinner. And it just, that's the part of this that really warms my heart. As we, continue to develop it with, we're working on a league for this spring. So you'll see some of that coming up pretty soon. But yeah, it makes me happy. And obviously with the bar being there, once we can get it open here, hopefully in the next few weeks, it's going to be a really cool spot for our members to exactly what you said, hang. And maybe we can get you out and actually practice more if you can grab a cocktail before you go do that. I bet you we can do it.
Chills just hearing that because I literally just took me back to being 10 years old with my dad. You know what I mean? And I think I don't have kids yet, but I imagine all these who have kids man, the best piece is being able to just get a kid out here for hours is difficult. Get him out here for 30 minutes putting around. You get to have a soda with him after. Those are the things those are the experiences that are, priceless.
You'll remember forever. I can think back, both my kids played through high school, played, club golf and at UT. But there's nothing better in this game as a parent, golf pro, however you want to look at it in both runs, because I was their instructor, is, when your 16-year-old daughter calls you and says, hey, Dad, what are you doing this afternoon? Can you play 9? Absolutely. Right. And that's the enjoyment of this, and getting these kids out there now and getting them excited about the game is only going to help us in the long haul.
What Brett brought this up, a little gambling. What are some of your go-to gambling games on the course?
I'm a big Wolf fan, to be honest. It's I think it's a game. You get out there and then you get stuck with a partner for 6 holes and you're like, oh God, he's not good today. And then you're stuck. right? But you play Wolf, I can flip that every hole. Now it also needs to be a fun game. At the same time, I will tell a little gambling story, but it still needs to be fun. What I've kind of seen in my career, and doesn't matter what club you're at or what part of the country you're in, that $50 bet is kind of that threshold. I've had a few get ugly at certain times, and I can remember one day out at Tennessee National, I think I had a putt on 18, and we, and myself and one of the other pros from town were not technically in the bet. It was the members themselves betting. And I think that putt was worth like $4,000. And I was like, I'm glad you didn't tell me, because there's no chance in hell I would have made it if I knew it was worth $4,000 at that point. But yeah, that's probably my go-to. The other one that, a bunch of my kind of close-knit group, and we're traveling together, we play, it's called Basically, it's an every hole 2-person game. There's a close to the pin on your approach, so par 5, your third shot, par 4, your second shot, obviously par 3s. It's basically 7 points. And then we actually play for a dime per point, because the points are multiplied by the hole number. So ton of math, and it actually got crazy. And then there's something that's called a double umby. So if both of your players birdie the hole, then the points double again. So we had this little match going. We were on our 34th hole down in Florida after a PGA show. This is probably 10, 12 years ago. My old assistant, who's now a GM with Troon, one of my other old assistants, who's now another GM with Troon, we're playing this game. We're on our it had to have been 34th hole, and we were down probably $300 at that point in a dime game, right? So then we get to this hole. We both made eagle on the hole. We actually had to call in a ruling to see what the multiplier was on that one hole. So we went down 300, or we were down 300. We went up 300 in one hole with only 2 holes left to play. Is great. And we literally still tell this story every day. And whenever we're together, and the 2 that lost still aren't very happy about it, but it's okay. It's a good story. We actually didn't even make them pay up. They bought dinner that night, and everything was good, because we actually felt bad. We played so bad for 2 days. It's called UMBI.
UMBI?
Yeah, UMBI. 7 point is another name for it.
Not a fan of Wolf. Wolf is a great game as it is. I'm very much a pace of play guy, and I can't stand having to hit in any sort of order. I want to peg it the minute I get up there and go hit the ball.
You get a little antsy at times. I understand.
Always.
Yeah.
Always antsy. So you talked a lot about golf you played. I'll put you on the spot. I want the top 3 golf courses you played in your life.
Probably one of my favorite of all time is Baltusrol. So in New Jersey, it's hosted a lot of U.S. Opens or PGAs, and the Upper is probably my favorite of the 2. That's a tournament course. Fabulous. Second would be Oakmont. Got to play Oakmont as they were doing all the filming for the U.S. Open that was hosted there. So this is, probably 6 months prior to that. And actually, it's probably a year prior to that, because I think 6 months probably would have been stowing. So it's probably the year prior, but they had it set up at tournament speed, at rough height, it was unbelievable. Third, and it's probably most near and dear to my heart, Monument Golf Course at Troon North. I absolutely love that place. I spent, almost 3 years at the club managing it, and I just love that layout. It is a good desert golf without being too tricky desert golf. And it's just, obviously, and that's where Troon started. It's still very near and dear to my heart. But that, if I were to say my 3, that's probably my 3.
What's that par 3 down the hill there on the back, big green? What the whole number?
The long one.
Yeah.
What would that be? 15 off the top of my head. 16's a par 4, 18 comes in. Yeah, I think it's 15. Yeah. Great hole. I'll tell a little story about that hole. So right in front of that tee box, there's a huge rock structure, and it's downhill. Well, this rock structure has a void in the middle of this rock structure. We're out there one afternoon, Superintendent Brad Anderson, we're driving around, and we're driving through, and someone was saying that there was kind of a stench going on. This is middle of summer. It's 105 degrees, and it's hot, and anything could die out there. So we literally look down this crevice, and there's a coyote dead down in the bottom of that crevice, and that's where all that smell was coming from. Nothing could get in there and try to eat it because you'd never get out. Yeah, it was probably 25 feet down or so. So we just let them decompose and off we went. But yeah.
My Jesus.
Yeah, great golf hole, though.
It's a great trip. It's a great field trip. We talked about field trips before, but Ryan, thanks for your time today. I know you got to get going. You got another meeting, but we appreciate you carving out time to talk to us.
Thank you all for having me. I really appreciate it.
That was so cool to hear Ryan talk about everything.
I think today's episode, Ryan with his passion for the learning center, the teaching center, getting everything together. We're here. We're wrapping. I'm excited about what we're doing this week, but also the upcoming episodes and the people we have on with us. I'm excited. I've already signed up for Chicken and Bingo. I don't know about you, but that's coming up.
Might be there. I might be there.
You know what I want out of Chicken and Bingo? I want some of the like fun bingo calls that you'll get, like B11, those sexy legs, B11, or maybe I-22, ducks on a pond. I-22, and everybody goes quack, 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 quack.
They're going to get the 6-7s.
The 6-7s?
The 6-7s, we're getting a lot of 6-7s.
I think that's a modernized version, right? 6-7.
A lot of 6-7.
There's a couple of laughs when you get 69 called too. So, but with that, another episode in the books. Looking forward to our third. Everybody, we'll see you on the course, or we'll see you in the bar. Thank you for watching and listening, and we'll see you guys out on the course. That's a wrap for this episode of Contra Costa Confidential. We hope you enjoyed the look at the stories and the strategy behind our club life. Until next time, we'll see you on the links, or we'll see you in the clubhouse.
Be sure to stay connected by subscribing to the show. You can find full episodes on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube, and follow the club's Instagram feed for excerpts and highlights. And as always, keep an eye on the weekly approach for the latest news from the pro shop and beyond. And remember, what happens at Contra Costa definitely does not stay at Contra Costa.